Good afternoon. I am thankful to organizing committee for inviting me for a talk. I am thankful to my teacher from whom I learned. There are three things in the life: past, present, and future. From last 2 days, we are talking about the present. I am taking you from past to future. Era of futuristic medicine, infectious to non-infectious. Lest we forget, this presentation is tribute to all gurus of the West as scientists and East as gurus of Gyan, Indian gurus. These were the legends in the medicine who devoted their life for human suffering. By the virtue of all these legends, we are here learning from each other, that is CME. By the virtue of all these legends, we could cope up with the human suffering, but lost humanity in our profession from few decades. Ancient civilization. Egypt, 2600 BCE, Imhotep is considered one of the first physician use of the surgical instrument and herbal medicine. India, Ayurveda, Sushruta performed early surgeries, Charka and compiled medical knowledge, Charka Samhita. China, traditional Chinese medicine, acupuncture, herbal treatment, and yin-yang balance. Greece, Hippocrates, 460 to 370 BCE, the father of medicine, promoted observation and natural causes of the disease. The Hippocrates oath was developed. Rome, Galen anatomy studied dominated Western medicine for over a million. Medieval medicine, 500 to 1500 CE, dominated by the religion and superstition in the Europe, the diseases as divine punishment. Islamic Golden Age, the great advance in the medicine and hospital. Avicenna wrote the canon of medicine. In India, texts of Ashtanga Hridaya continue as Ayurvedic tradition. Plagues such as the Black Death, 14th century devastated population and led to the slow shift in the medical thinking. Renaissance and science revolution, 1500 to 1700, rebirth of scientific inquiry of anatomy through the dissection. भारत में हमारे ऋषि मुनियों ने शरीर का निरीक्षण आंतरिक दृष्टिकोण से किया और उपचार किया, क्योंकि मृतक शरीर जला दिए जाते थे, इसलिए उपलब्ध भी नहीं होते थे, इसलिए इंडिया में डिसेक्शन नहीं होता था. एंड्रयूस विलस revolutionized the anatomy with his detailed drawing, 1543. Paracelsus introduced the chemical medicine. Printing press allowed medical knowledge to spread more widely. Modern medicine, 1700 to 1900 it begins. Key advances: vaccination. Edward Jenner developed a small vaccine, 1796. Germ theory, Louis Pasteur and Robert Koch proved that the microbes cause disease. Anesthesia and surgery, ether and chloroform revolutionized the surgery. Antiseptic, Joseph Lister introduced sterilization, reducing the surgical death. Stethoscope, 1816, thermometer and microscope improved the diagnosis. 20th century, the medical expansion. Major milestone, antibiotic discovery of penicillin by Alexander Fleming, 1928. Vaccine developed for the polio, measles, hepatitis, etc. Medical imaging, X-ray, CT scan, MRI, ultrasound. Organ transplant, first successful kind, kidney transplant in 1954, followed by the heart and liver. Mental health advances, psychoanalyst Freud, antidepressant and antipsychotic. Genetic discovery, DNA structure, Watson and Crick, 1953. Public health, eradication and smallpox, 1980. Mass immunization campaign. 21st century, the era of high-tech and personalized medicine. Breakthrough. Human Genome Project completed in 2003. Foundation and personalized medicine. Biotechnology, gene editing, CRISPR, stem cell therapy, monoclonal antibody. Robotic and AI in surgery, minimum invasive procedure. Telemedicine and mobile health app, health access beyond hospital, mRNA vaccine, rapid development during the COVID-19 pandemic, Pfizer, Biotech, and Moderna. Wearable technology, small watch for the monitoring of heart rate, oxygen level, precision medicine, tailoring treatment for the individual genetic profiles. What we acknowledge, trouble begins with the Hippocrates dictum. First, do not harm. Everything in medicine and in life is based on the sum calculation and risk versus rewards. A physician who has never done any harm or not yet confronted the risk of the harm has probably never done much anything to help the patient either. Hippocrates era continued to march of the progress from the Hippocrates era to present to the complete function. It seems that these have been a distinct era in the modern living, and now we are at the verge of the third. What we acknowledge. First era exemplified the Hippocrates, but lasting almost 2000 years after his death is called Medicine 1. It concludes the direct observation and abated more and less by the guesswork. Hippocrates advocated walking, exercise, food as medicine. Major contribution was disease caused by nature, not by the God. It was a huge step in the right direction. Medicine 2 arrived in the mid-19th century with the advent of germ theory of disease, which gave idea of most illness spread by the bad air. It led to improved sanitary practices by physicians and development of antibiotics. Robert Koch simplified, published groundbreaking studies, and rest of the medicine profession fell into the line. In fact, the shift from 1 to 2 was long slog that took centuries. It was promoted in part of the new technology as a microscope, a new way of thinking. In 1628, Sir Francis articulated as well as we know as a scientific method. Major physiological shift from observing and guessing to observing and then forming a hypothesis, a fancy word for the guess, Richard Feynman. Discovery of penicillin, the true game changer of medicine 2, which is transformational. It is defining future of our civilization. It has eradicated deadly disease like polio, smallpox, continued to HIV, AIDS, and recent cure of hepatitis C and COVID-19 vaccine. Yet medicine 2 has proved far less success in chronic diseases. 8 top contagious diseases brought under control by antibiotic in 1930 and mortality rate declined on the course of 20th century. Diseases of civilization. Medicine is changing in our era, moving to the personalized or precision medicine, that is medicine 3, where our care will be tailored by our exact need down to the genes. This is obviously a worthy goal. The goal of medicine 3 is to prevent the diseases from appearing and spreading in first place, to avoid non-infectious diseases like hypertension, cancer, obesity, mental health diseases, respiratory disease like asthma, cardiovascular disease in adolescents. Medicine 3 is considering as a unique individual and believes in the prevention than the treatment. Medicine 3 pays a more attention to maintaining health span, activity of life, exercise, sleep, and nutrition. Health span of period of the life and absence of sickness and disability. Medicine 2, we are passenger in the ship being carried along with somewhat passively. Medicine 3 looks at the situation through longer lens. You are well informed medically, clear eye goal and true nature of work. You must be willing to change integrated habit, to accept new challenge, participating not passively, not ignoring issue, to make important decision. You are now captain of the ship, out to decide about your future life. Environmental has changed in the last century or two. Food supply and eating habit, our activity level, sleep, emotional health, social and network. Genes have scarcely changed. There is no blanket solution for everyone. Absorb what is useful, discard what is useless, and what is specifically is your own. Living life. Everything that is alive today will certainly die. It is one-way street. Longevity is more malleable than we think. Longevity means it's not merely notching more and more rebirth, more birthdays, and we slowly wither away. We wish Almighty God good personal physical life than the good eternal life, and so body continue to decay. In 1900s, life expectancy was somewhere south of A50s, more accident infections. Longevity has two components: how long you live in chronological lifespan, how well you live in quality of years, healthy lifespan. It is defined as a period of life, a span where we are free from disability or disease, with the second part of a span for the longevity is to maintain improved your physical and mental function. What is our future trajectory? We are better to continue years. We have to little advisory to stop than falling off of the building in the first place. We ignore important warning signs and with the opportunity to intervene as a point where we still have a chance to beat back. These diseases improve health and potentially extend the lifespan. One micronutrient demand more attention than the people realize. Not carb, not the fat, but the protein becomes the critically important with the age. Exercise is a potent longevity drug. It is preserve cognitive and physical function. Physical health and longevity is meaningless if you ignore the emotional health. Emotional suffering can decimate our health on all the factors and must be addressed. Longevity demands a paradigm shifting approach to the medicine. Our efforts towards preventing chronic diseases and improving our health span before the decline of the long life, physical and emotional function. It is a proactive medicine. How to live better life for a longer. I was walking in the street on the one day in my dream. Suddenly I saw that the eggs are falling down at me from above, and I ran to catch all in the basket, subconsciously doing best to catch them, running all over the place, but how long and how many? Where the eggs are coming from? Probably somewhere above through the balcony, just casually tossing them all over down to the street. Otherwise, I feel helpless. To solve the problem was not to get at catching the eggs. What is needed to stop falling eggs to at me from the top, which I was not aware, but from which top? Eggs in our conscience. Thinking process, emotion, feeling, our inner self create eggs in our conscience, which generate, symbolize, and new beginning, potential, and fertility. They can prevent the unfolding of the ideas, plan or even new life. Eggs are rich in symbolism, often representing our new opportunity, life, and growth. Dreams about eggs might arise during period of change, uncertainty, or creative thinking. They can be symbolized untapped potential, nurturing, and even vulnerability depending on the conscious control. What we need to approach the situation falling eggs is entirely difficult mindset arising different set of tools. It may create process of non-infectious diseases in growing mental faculties of the teens, which is in fact today's lifestyle. These are the eggs coming out of the brain. There comes to a point where we need to stop just pulling people out of the river. We need to upstream and find out why they are falling in. Common non-infectious diseases among the teens. Obesity increased due to the sedentary lifestyle and poor dietary habit. Type 2 diabetes rising among the adolescents, often linked to the obesity and family history. Hypertension emerging in the teens due to stress, poor diet, and lack of exercise. Asthma, a common chronic respiratory condition. A mental health disorder, depression, anxiety, and stress are increasing prevalent and considered part of broader NCD spectrum by WHO. Early signs of cardiovascular diseases such as elevated cholesterol or blood sugar. Mental health issues in Indian teens, 10 to 20% leading cause of the death. Academic pressure, high parental expectations, cyberbullying, social media exposure, family conflicts, parental neglect, substance abuse, mental health education, emotional issues. Manodarpan initiative by the Ministry of Education, school counselor and helpline telemedicine, mental health services, mental health education in curriculum and teacher training. Diseases, diabetes, India is a home to over 1 million children and adolescents with the type 1 diabetes. Autoimmune disease, obesity and poor diet, high in sugar, processed food, lack of physical activity, family history of diabetes, urbanization and decreased poor outdoor play. Health and diet and daily physical activity, regular screening in the school, insulin therapy and blood sugar monitoring for type 1, lifestyle modification for type 2. Hypertension, pre-hypertension and hypertension in 5 to 10% of adolescents undiagnosed due to lack of regular blood pressure check. High salt intake, processed food, obesity and sedentary lifestyle. Stress, family history. Low sodium, regular exercise, at least 60 minutes a day, routine BP check, stress reduction technique. Asthma, around 10 to 15% of Indian adolescents are affected by the asthma. High rate are reported in urban areas due to the pollution and indoor allergens. Air pollution, indoor allergen, tobacco smoke, cold air, exercise and respiratory infection, stress and emotional anxiety. Inhalers and bronchodilator, avoid known triggers, indoor air quality improvement, physical activity and supervision. Cardiovascular disease in India is witnessing increasing early markers of CVD in adolescents, particularly those with obesity or a family history. Urban lifestyle in a major contributor. Obesity, sedentary lifestyle, unhealthy diet, high blood pressure, family history, high cholesterol, smoking or tobacco use and still are the causes. What we can do: healthy diet, regular physical activity, routine screening, BP check, cholesterol and blood sugar testing, BMI tracking, avoid tobacco and alcohol and junk food, managing stress. Obesity in Indian teenagers, the prevalence of obesity is over 10 to 19%, 19 years of age, overweight prevalence 15 to 20%, obesity prevalence is 5 to 10%. Unhealthy diet causes are unhealthy diet, sedentary lifestyle, genetic and environmental factor, emotional factor leading increased risk of type 2 diabetes, hypertension, heart disease, polycystic ovary syndrome. What we can do is healthy eating habits, regular physical activity, reduce screen time, school health program and Ayushman Bharat.
भारतीयों के दिन की शुरुआत ही तेल से तले हुए नाश्ते से कई बार होती है। आजकल सुबह का पसंदीदा नाश्ता ही पूरी कचौरी है। समोसा, ब्रेड पकौड़े, जलेबी, पराठे, छोले भटूरे। रात का टाइम है, ये सब खाने की सोचिएगा भी मत सुनने के बाद या देखने के बाद। ये ऐसे पकवान है जिन्हें बनाने में काफी मात्रा में तेल का इस्तेमाल किया जाता है। सोचिए सब खाने वाले भारतीय आखिर वजन को कैसे नियंत्रित कर पाएंगे। एक अनुमान के मुताबिक भारत के लोग एक वर्ष में, ध्यान से सुनिए, 21,000 करोड़ समोसे खा जाते हैं। 21,000 करोड़ समोसे 365 दिन में। यही नहीं, वो हर साल 35,000 करोड़ पराठे, 5,600 करोड़ प्लेट छोले भटूरे, 14,000 करोड़ कचौड़ियां और 10,000 करोड़ ब्रेड पकौड़े खा जाते हैं। ये सारा का सारा नाश्ता भरपूर तेल में तल कर बनाया जाता है। ये आप देख ही रहे हैं, जैसे तेल के समुद्र में ये लोग डुबकियां लगा रहे हैं। समोसे हो, कचौड़ियां हो, केवल एक वक्त के नाश्ते में आप कई दिनों का खाद्य तेल कंज्यूम कर लेते हैं। 25 साल के दौरान भारत में खाद्य तेल की खपत बहुत तेजी से बढ़ी है। 94-95 में एक व्यक्ति साल भर में 7 किलो तेल खाता था। उसकी हर दिन की खपत 20 ग्राम थी, लेकिन अब एक भारतीय साल में 20 किलो से ज्यादा तेल खा लेता है, यानी हर दिन की खपत 55 ग्राम तक हो गई है। तेल की खपत बढ़ने से देश में मोटे लोगों की संख्या लगातार रफ्तार से बढ़ रही है। 1990 में 3 करोड़ भारतीय मोटापे से परेशान थे, लेकिन 24 आते आते 35 करोड़ तक ये संख्या पहुंच गई है। इसी वजह से मोटापे के खिलाफ जंग में तेल की कटौती एक बड़ा हथियार है। प्रधानमंत्री मोदी भी खान पान में तेल की 10% कमी करने पर जोर देते हैं। सोचिए, भारत के लोग रोजाना 55 ग्राम तेल खा जाते हैं, जबकि इंडियन काउंसिल ऑफ मेडिकल रिसर्च कहता है कि लोगों को एक दिन में 30 ग्राम से ज्यादा तेल नहीं खाना चाहिए। हम 55 ग्राम खा रहे हैं। इसी हिसाब से देखा जाए तो साल भर में ये मात्रा करीब 12 किलो होती है, यानी एक महीने में 1 किलो तेल। लेकिन आज एक व्यक्ति सालाना औसतन 20 किलो तेल खा रहा है एक की जगह। इसी वजह से वो मोटापे में ग्रस्त है। भारतीय को तेल में तला हुआ भोजन इतना पसंद है कि कई हमारी जो पारंपरिक ऐसे खाने हैं वो तेल में तले जाते हैं। और तेल के हम सबसे बड़े, भारत खाद्य तेलों का सबसे बड़ा आयातक है, इंपोर्टर है। यानी हम सबसे ज्यादा तेल खाने वाले देश ही नहीं बल्कि खरीदने वाले देश भी हम इंडोनेशिया, मलेशिया, अर्जेंटीना, ब्राजील, रशिया, यूक्रेन से खाद्य तेल का 55 से 60% हिस्सा खरीदते हैं। अब ये सोचने वाली बात है कि खाद्य तेल से प्रेम करने वाले भारतीय क्या मोटापे से छुटकारा पाने के लिए 10% की कटौती कर पाएंगे? ये सवाल भी है और चुनौती भी।
Key factors. Poor diet, high intake of processed food, sugar and salt. We talk about the Western junk food, but we forget what we are doing. Physical inactivity due to urban lifestyle, excessive screen time, lack of playground. Tobacco and alcohol use, experimental in adolescent, increasing risk factor. Air pollution, particularly in urban area, contributing to the respiratory issues. Psychological stress from academic pressure, family issues, social media, and peer influence. Data and trend according to the Indian National Family Health Survey and Global Youth Tobacco Survey, around 5 to 10% of teens show signs of being overweight or obese. Mental health issues affect 20% of adolescents. Tobacco use among adolescents 10 to 15 years is estimated at 8 to 10%.
Sir, as the oration
Government and
time is
initiative
there,
policy.
we will have to wrap it up fast.
School health program focuses on the health education including NCD prevention, National Program of Prevention and Control of Cancer, Diabetes, Cardiovascular Disease, Stroke and NCD address NCD across age group. Fit India movement encourages physical activity among youth. Poshan Abhiyan aims of improving nutrition among the children and adolescents. Recommendation and prevention, health education in the school on diet, exercise, lifestyle diseases, regular screening for obesity, hypertension, mental health, school in program, promotion of school and physical activity, parental awareness, restricting junk food in the school, mental health support. Future trend in the medicine, artificial intelligence in diagnosis, nanomedicine targeted drug delivery system, regeneration medicine, 3D in bioprinting organ, stem cell therapy, brain computer interfaces, neural implant to the treat paralysis and neurological diseases, global health equity, focus on the making advanced health accessibility. Ultimate aim of life is what? Western culture approach the life is evidence-based science, Vigyan. While the Indian philosophy's ultimate approach of life is Gyan, which we have received from many centuries. So what is that? Yam, Niyam, Asan, Pranayam, Pratyahar, Dharana, Dhyan, Samadhi. And if you are keep away from Ahimsa, Satya, Asatya, Brahmacharya, Apagraha, Niyam, Sho, Santop, Tab, Swadhyaya, Ishwar, Pranidhan. That is our India. How we can live healthy without medicine is by yoga and these all niyams. If you keep your dental hygiene good, your mental hygiene will be good, so that you can remain healthy. And from teens to centenarian, thanks for listening.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, sir. Now